Hi Year 5, I hope you're all okay. Happy Wednesday. I've just finished my Joe Wicks PE for this morning. I hope you're still enjoying him. It's a really good way to start the day. So the first thing I want you to do in terms of literacy is go back, read the paragraph that you wrote yesterday, use your different coloured pen to edit and improve, and once you've done that, come back and we'll start the next one. So if you remember yesterday, we left it just as the problem was about to appear. So we've finished our resolution section and we're going to start our problem section today. So I'm going to read a bit at a time from the model text and then you're going to have a go at writing it. Now we've already had a go at a lot of this already, so it might be really useful for you now to pause me and go and find your work from last week, especially I think it was Thursday's lesson, where we wrote those lovely paragraphs. They can fit in to today's lesson. Off you go. So hopefully you've got everything that you need. Right, let's go. So the first sentence we're going to write today is a sentence of 3. So it tells us 3 things that the spider destroys. So remember we picked out 3 nouns. So I think when I was doing my park story, I picked out the birds, the bench and the trees. So at that moment, the table began to shake, the windows rattled and the floor vibrated. Everyone stopped what they were doing and the room fell silent. Now here we've listed 3 different things that the spider's done. So you need to make sure that you're including commas in the correct places for a list. Also we've got a lovely fronted adverbial at the beginning, at that moment. So I'd love to see a lovely fronted adverbial in your sentence. And again, we need a comma after that fronted adverbial. Brilliant. So now we've got a bit of speech. Remember to punctuate those speech correctly. With the sentences I've seen so far, everybody's punctuated their speech really nicely. So well done to those children that have sent us their work. So earthquake, shouted Billy, bursting into laughter. He soon stopped. Okay. So here comes the description of the spider. As in a blink of an eye, an enormous spider, bigger than a horse, shot out of the game and landed in the centre of the crowded classroom. Everyone froze. Its enormous hairy legs were tensed, ready to pounce, and its whole body seemed to pulse. 8 bulging eyes scanned the room. And then... So if you recognise this paragraph, it's because we used this when we did our adjective work and we looked at the importance of adjectives and the jobs that they did. Remember we wrote a paragraph about a mouse. So your task now is to write a description about your problem. So if I was writing my story still, I'd write a description about the water coming out of the bucket. And also, I hope that you noticed that I ended on a bit of a cliffhanger in that sentence with some ellipsis. So it'd be really nice if you could use ellipsis at the end of your sentence as well. Brilliant. If you need to pause me and do that now, off you go. So now we're going to write another sentence of 3 description. So this is telling us 3 things that our problem did. It sprung into action. So there we've got a lovely short sentence. A real simple sentence. Remember we have those simple sentences to break up our writing and make it more interesting to the reader. It crushed the tables, they put a comma there, smashed the windows and flung children around the classroom with the flick of its legs. So if you remember rightly, this is where we looked at the verbs. So we picked 3 verbs. So on another piece of paper you might want to write 3 verbs down that you could use. So in our model text we had crushed, smashed, flung. So it might be best for you to write 3 verbs first and then use those to write your sentence of 3. It powered towards Mrs. Albright as she stood rooted to the floor in terror. The room was filled with shrieks of panic and despair. So that's just some more information about what our problem is doing and why it's a problem. How is it causing an issue? So now we've got a bit of speech between our characters about how they're going to solve the problem. So this is coming to the end of our problem now, and it's going to turn into our resolution. So this is our last couple of sentences. What shall we do? Shouted Danny desperately, pressing himself tightly against the wall. So if you've noticed there, again, like we've spoken about before, the author has given us some speech from a character, and then she's told us what the character is doing while they're speaking. So what shall we do? Shouted Danny desperately, pressing himself tightly against the wall. So every time she's given us some speech, she's told us what the character is doing whilst they're speaking, which creates a really good picture in the reader's mind. And now we've got a reply from our next character. Read the instructions, ordered Susie. We have to stop it. So there we've got a lovely example of some split speech. We've used that in class lots of times. Read the instructions, ordered Susie. We have to stop it. So remember, this needs punctuating correctly as well. And we are done now. We have written our problem section. A bit of a whistle-stop tour of the problem section. But I'm very conscious that I've been speaking to you a lot over the last few weeks. And like the characters in Flint's story that he wrote on Monday, they're probably bored of my homework. So, nice, short and sweet today. Have a go. Remember, if you've got any problems, come back, drop us an email and I'll help you. And remember, every time you've written a lovely paragraph, email it to us so I can have a look and help you stay on the right track. Okay, so come back tomorrow and we'll write our resolution section. Have a great Wednesday and I'll see you soon. Bye.